Lando Norris change hailed after Lewis Hamilton praise as Brit outdoes Daniel Ricciardo. Lando Norris has been complimented by Johnny Herbert for altering his driving style this season, with Lewis Hamilton having praised his fellow Briton after a race earlier this season. Johnny Herbert has lavished praise upon McLaren driver Lando Norris, after the Brit's impressive first half of the 2021 Formula One season. Herbert thinks that the 21-year-old's change in attitude towards his teammate has helped improve him as a driver. Herbert noted that, while it was heartwarming to see Norris and his former driving partner at McLaren Carlos Sainz Jr. mucking around during Grand Prix weekends, it may have been that casual nature which affected his performances on race days. The 57-year-old thinks that Norris' growth as a person and greater experience in the sport have helped him start to realize his potential, particularly as he is no longer teamed up with someone he considers a close friend. Daniel Ricciardo joined McLaren in 2021 to replace Sainz and has been outshone by the younger Norris. Speaking to Motorsport magazine, Herbert said, "There's a wonderful maturity starting to appear in him, and it's a maturity that we haven't seen in recent years, when he was at McLaren teaming up with Carlos Sainz Jr. Now that he's teamed up with Daniel Ricciardo, there's a mental change, because they're not friends. Lando doesn't want to be a friend, and that's the right attitude to have. You have to be ruthless at some point." Herbert noticed a big change in Norris' personality during the current season, and says that has allowed him to outdrive the more experienced Ricciardo consistently throughout the year. Lando was so friendly, bubbly and chatty when he first came into F1, and he still is, but he has something now that wasn't there before. Yes, McLaren have improved, but it is Lando who is the real standout. He performs consistently. He's up against Daniel, and yet it's Lando who is getting the best out of the car, and in the first half of the season there has been a massive change. Herbert is not the first person to show appreciation for Norris' progression this year. During the Styrian Grand Prix in June, Norris managed to hold off seven-time world champion Lewis Hamilton for 15 laps. When the 36-year-old finally passed Norris, he was heard on his radio saying, "Such a great driver, Lando." Norris was clearly overjoyed at the comment, both immediately after the race when he was shown the clip, and in more considered thoughts a few days later. Before the British Grand Prix, Norris said, "It was cool hearing it from Lewis. More so than from any other driver in F1. It was in the middle of the race, which I wouldn't ever do. And it was a bit odd because you don't expect to hear it. But it means even more that he said it after he had gone past, and I was racing against him, rather than him dropping back because of any problems. So it was weird, but cool at the same time, because it was the first time I'd ever raced against Lewis for more than one corner. It's a different feeling because you know he's the best. And he's the best for a reason. He's good at attacking and defending, but I feel like I was capable of holding him off for 20 laps last week." F1 returns to action on Friday, for the first practice of the Belgian Grand Prix weekend at Spa-Francorchamps. If you like this video, please hit the like button to give this channel a boost. If you would like to see more Formula One, please hit the subscribe button, and hit the little bell to be notified of future videos.